Hi everyone! Welcome to my new video. Today we'll be tackling the subject of still life, and while I was about to decorate for fall, I had the idea that I could make still lifes a bit more fun and try and create my own for drawing and painting, so I don't have to rely so much on photos that I find online, and just to be able to draw and paint from life as well. But today I'll also be taking photographs that I can refer to later. And here I'm just honestly showing you all the stuff lying around. I do want it to be a very fall-inspired still life, so I gathered everything I had that would put me in a fall mood, including those wax melts you just saw. I'm usually not the type of person to buy a lot of things to decorate with, so I bought just a couple of cheap things and just used other stuff that I had lying around. And yeah, here it is. A collection of things that are in colors that I love and that make my home just look very warm and cozy for this time of the year. I know I want something with a bit of a vintage touch, and I feel that that goes very well with the autumnal feel, and it also just goes well with my color scheme and the colors that I have. So I tried to add some vintage items like these laces that I got from my mom, and these really old, like these are, some of them are handmade like this one, others are this is from my grandmother's wedding mosquito net, you know, those kinds of nets that you put over your bed, and that was lace trimming of that, so this is ancient. And some more stuff from old pillows that my mother collected, and I'm really glad she did, because who would want to throw something like that away, right? I mean, I'm a bit of a seamstress, so I do use these things, but I thought I could also just incorporate them into some of my still lifes. Here are some leaves that I collected. The other ones I showed you before, I preserved with beeswax. This is also a very old tablecloth from when my mom was young, that my grandma used to use back then. Some of the flowers I've dried in the past, and my mood board you can see in the back with some art by Chris Hong and others. An old botanical book, which I feel goes very well with the theme. And this wasn't even supposed to be an autumnal mood board. I made it just with colors that I like, but it still looks very autumnal and vintage. So it works. And it works all year for me. And George is getting cozy as well. One of my new things that I do is, I've always cooked, but now I'm making more complex stuff like sourdough bread. And that just also feels very fitting for this time of the year. Just being at home and doing those traditional things and just enjoying the little things. So here I'm starting with creating my background from several sweaters, sheets, tablecloths, and whatnot. And it takes a little bit of trial and error. If you want to set up your own still life, you have to pay attention to a few things. But I think in general, what I did most of the time was follow my gut feeling and just see if I liked something or not. And it doesn't have to be lobsters and hunted fowl and grapes and the classic kind of stuff. You can create your still life from anything you want. Just try to incorporate a few different textures. Try to incorporate different heights and just play around. Just move things around until they look nice to you. And also what you have to remember, this is not fine photography. The photos just really have to be good enough for you to paint or draw them. And you can always change colors and other things in your paintings and drawings, but you just have to have a clear picture of what you have in front of you. And what I did here was follow themes. So this is my kitchen theme with the bread. And just having these themes gives me a frame to work within and makes making decisions a little bit easier and makes everything cohesive as well. So now I'm moving on to more of a tabletop desk kind of situation, which is my new theme. I'm pretending that this is my desk that I write on or read on, and I'm just gathering a few things that I think would look nice on a fall desk, including some old books and some leaves for some atmosphere and frames and things like that. I took quite a few pictures. I took them with my DSLR, but I think I had some smudges on my lens, which is why they didn't turn out very sharp, which is kind of a bummer that I didn't see that before. But like I said, these are good enough photos. They're for drawing and painting, and they're not necessarily to win a prize in photography. So now I'm moving on to a more witchy vibe, going with the Halloween feeling, and I'm laying out tarot cards and my witch mug and other things that maybe you could find on an altar or something like that, because, I don't know, witchiness and October just go well together. And so do pumpkins for some reason. And that kind of theme, you will be surprised how many things you will find around your home that will work when first you think you don't have anything, and then you discover that your entire room is full of stuff. I mean, cleaning this mess up is not fun, I will admit, but this process in itself is a lot of fun because you're just playing with your creativity, and you're also like sharpening your composition skills and thinking about how things look better and trying out different perspectives and things like that. Just don't be afraid to make a mess. There is no creativity without mess. And there's also a popular trend has been doing flat lays. You can also do some knolling portraits where you just have this kind of tabletop view, and you're taking like a bird eyes perspective and photographing everything from above. You can totally do that. It's very popular on Instagram. You can arrange these things in a very ordered and organized manner for the knolling portraits, or you can have them a bit more organic. So there are really no, the sky's the limit. There are no rules. I think that I may have overfilled my photos a little bit. So this last one was more of a like fashion, quote unquote fashion theme with shoes and sweaters and things you would wear. And this is my cat, who's the reason why I can't have nice things. He kept trying to eat some of my dried flowers, which is not good because we've had him sedated to take out a stubborn little piece of grass that was stuck in his throat. So if you have pets, pay attention when you have things lying around. And the rest of this video really will be me making my fall decorations. If you're interested, stick around. I'm just trying to create some mood. I made these wax melts, which I thought were a healthier version to some of those perfumed or scented candles that you get. And I made them with pumpkin spice. I'm making everything with pumpkin spice these days. So just to get in that fall mood, I lit my candle, my beeswax candle, and I let those scents spread around, and I started making things like potpourri and wreaths and just general things that you find housewives do at this time of the year. And I really only do this when the mood strikes. Like, I don't always do Christmas or Easter or whatever decorations, but sometimes you just want to give your place a little bit of coziness, I guess, and a little bit of your own touch. Here's my wax melts melting and smelling heavenly. This is another kind of potpourri that I quickly whipped up, so to say. Doesn't really take much work, but it just gives a nice atmosphere when you light all your candles in the evening. And yeah, even though not all leaves outside are orange yet, you can bring autumn in, starting September actually, and just enjoy the season for longer. And all the while I was thinking of that quote from Anne of Green Gables where she said, "I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers," because October. And I didn't think I would ever say that because I used to be an extreme summer person, but October is a very, very nice month. Here I'm just making a few fabric pumpkins, no-sew or almost no-sew, real quick. And that's about it for my decoration. Sorry for the useless camera angle, but for some reason my tripod installation shifted, so I didn't know that it was filming from that angle. And of course I had to do a little bit of drawing inspired by the season and what's autumn without mushrooms and little woodland critters. And I had done this gouache study a while back outside, and I was never really happy with the way it turned out. I mean, for one, it's gouache, so I'm never happy with how it turns out, but the background especially bothered me a lot. But with all this autumn decoration going on, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stick to my color palette and choose some more autumny warm colors, and this was the result of what I did. I'm quite happy with it for studying gouache. I guess that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching the video. It was a bit different, but next time I'll be back with something new, and I hope to see you then. Bye!